your song echoing around the stadium. How hard-earned was that?
Yeah, today it was not an easy game against a top team. Like we shouldn't not concede the goal before the half line, but we did well the second half to score in set pieces with a beautiful goal of JT. And now we have to keep going, and we are so happy to win today in front of our fans.
I've
Drama
not
at
heard
the
this song
Emirates
for a little
Stadium.
while. It's a catchy one, isn't it?
Arsenal
Yeah, it's
fans
really
are
good,
absolutely
especially after a
furious
good
after
win
a
like this, so
controversial
yeah.
VR decision
Yeah,
allowed Chelsea
it's
to
the
score a
important
goal that
you
looked
get over the
clearly
line in games
offside
like
in a
that,
dramatic
however you do
2-1
it.
London derby.
I think that's the most
From
important
the
thing, but at
opening
the same
whistle,
time, I think
the
we deserve
clash
to win
was
this
filled
game.
with intensity,
First off, we
skill,
don't give much
and
away,
tension,
and
but it was the disputed
we go to the
Chelsea
dressing
goal
room
that
with
stole the
1-1, which is a
spotlight.
bit of a shame, but I think we finished
Despite
it,
Arsenal
finish it up
taking an
second half,
early
which is
lead,
top.
Chelsea's
What's a game
equalizer through the
like
offside
that,
goal
like when
sparked
set
outrage among
pieces become
supporters and
so
pundits
central
alike,
to it? I know
igniting
they're always
social media
important, but
debates that
today,
continue to
every
rage
corner you
hours
had,
after the
to be
final
honest, every
whistle.
corner they had
Jury
was
and Timber
such a
restored
threat.
Arsenal's
it's both
advantage in the
sides, it's
second
just,
half
it
with a
became an
brilliant
important part
finish,
of the game.
giving the Gunners a
I think it's
crucial
always been,
2-1
but
lead.
now teams are focusing on it more,
However,
which
the
is
match didn't
interesting,
get any
but
calmer.
I think
Chelsea's
it's in our
Pedro Neto
advantage.
was sent off, leaving
Today
the
we
Blues
came out well,
frustrated and
I think
powerless,
overall we
adding
played a
another
good game,
layer of drama
and
to
we
an
can be proud
already
of ourselves.
heated
We take 3
encounter.
points, and then important game
Analysts
on
and
Wednesday.
fans are now questioning
And you know,
VR's
when you're
accuracy,
watching these big games,
consistency,
the likes of
and the
Arsenal
standards
taking
applied
on
in
Chelsea,
big
they
games,
attract the big
reigniting the
names
ongoing
as
debate
well.
about
And it's
technology
the sort
in
of
the
place
Premier
where
League.
you never know who's walking
Was
past
this a
the
fair
studio.
decision, or
Yaya
another
Toure
example
is
of
in
how
the house.
VR can sometimes
Yaya,
fail at the
welcome.
highest
Very
level?
pleased to see you.
Matches
Daniel, how
like
much
this
is
have
this?
consequences
Is this pair?
beyond
This
just
is
points.
big.
We're
They
talking
can
about,
shape the
at
Premier
least
League title
3 to
race.
500 million right here.
For Arsenal supporters,
Come on,
every
man, these two
controversial
did it.
VR call continues to fuel frustration
These
and
two
calls
are
for
legends. Come
reform.
on.
Yaya, what did you think of that
Fans are
today?
asking whether fairness truly exists on the pitch
I think-
and whether
I think,
such decisions
the
might
first half was
affect the
okay.
integrity
Was
of
quite
future
okay,
matches.
good games, but
As Arsenal
I
and
feel a bit
Chelsea prepare
disappointed
for
in,
future
you know,
encounters,
because
both clubs
we
now
want to
face
see
not only each
close
other but
games,
also
right?
the scrutiny
Three
and pressure
games,
surrounding
passing,
officiating
attacking, scoring
decisions.
chances.
This London derby
Well,
will be
and
remembered
maybe
as one of the
we
most
see
controversial
3
and
goals by
debated
set
in
pieces.
recent memory.
For a derby,
For detailed
this
analysis,
But does it matter
expert
if you're
reactions,
Arsenal and you're just
and
trying
all
to
the
win your
latest
first
updates,
title for
watch,
22
like,
years?
comment,
Yeah,
and
I think so,
subscribe to
be
Arsenal
honest.
24/7
I don't know,
News.
but yeah, I think
Stay
so,
with
because
us for
winning
every
today
goal,
was
VR
actually
controversy,
really important
and
for
tactical
Arsenal.
breakdown from the
But
Emirates
as
and
a
across
fan,
the Premier League.
I should, I want to see more,
What do you think, Patrick?
I think, at the Arsenal point of view, what really matters is the 3 points. It is really important for them. And of course, when you look at the game a little bit more deeper, scoring 2 goals on the set pieces, and it wasn't really open games. You expected Arsenal to go a little bit more forward. Obviously, Chelsea has a massive and a big part of the game because they were quite well organized defensively. So it was quite difficult for Arsenal to create chances. But of course, when you are top of the Champions League table, you are top of the league table, you are in a final in a cup, and you're still in a FA Cup competition. So the expectation is higher, and you expect more from this Arsenal Football Club. And today, yes, on the side of the game, creating, going forward, taking risk, we were, and I am a little bit disappointed, but the matters is, for them, is to win, taking the 3 points, and I think they did it well today. And
Disappointed with which bit? With the style of football particularly, or that risk
it's not
bit?
about, it's not about the style, because I think the style can be as well the fact that they didn't win the title for so long. So there is maybe a little bit of frustration and stress, because you want to do so well that you are not taking the risk that you are taking in the start of the season. So looking at where they are, and a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of stress, a little bit of pressure can have an impact on their games. But I believe that there is enough experience, there is enough quality, there is enough personality for them to go on the field and to go to win the game. And I think today, set pieces make the difference.
They certainly seem to put their fans through it, Daniel, don't they? They don't do things easily.
Yeah, but I think the key is stopping them. We can talk about the roller coaster in terms of performances and how they go about winning games. I think the entertainment value sometimes isn't there, but football's a game about winning, right? That's what you want to do. Yeah. So I think it's about how do you stop them being great at what they're great at. Clearly, set pieces is an area that they've worked on tirelessly. You got to have the players to be pinpoint deliverers of crosses. then you need the aggressive players in the box. They've got all the tools for the players who want to have the first contact. All of them are aggressive in the box. And then when you talk about an open play, of course, they've got many ways to win games, but it seems as if set pieces is the one that works the best for them right now.
Yeah. So use that to your advantage.
Yeah, I think they did well. Since the beginning of the season, they've always been doing well. I don't want to be too much rush, right? And I think Arsenal now, they just had it, right? This season, I think I hope they're going to end up good, but as a Man City fans, I think we are there, we're still behind them again. I hope they will show at some point, but let's see.
Because it's in Arsenal's hands, but it's also in Manchester City's hands because the fact that they play each other and they have this game advantage. We can actually show you the fixtures that both have left. How do you see this then, Yaya, in these closing stages?
Yeah, I think it's incredible how those two titan of the leagues doing this year is incredible, especially Man City being struggled at some point in the beginning of the season, and now they're coming back very strongly.
And they've won 4 on the bounce. Then it's Forest midweek. Then West Ham United before the Carabao Cup final. Do you think that could be a significant game? The fact they are playing each other in that final.
Yeah, I think it can be a turning point, right? Because for me, in my opinion, if Man City win that game, it will be big. Can be something, psychologically for Arsenal very strong, right? But I hope Man City is going to win the game because that one is going to be significantly for the rest of the season.
Can I ask you both? When you talk about your experiences that you've had, you've both been very successful legends of the game, like I talked about earlier on. From your experiences, Patrick, for you in 2004, your experience of maybe not winning the league for a few years and then going over the line from that psychological perspective, and for you, Yaya, similar, but in the sense of when Manchester City were always coming back to win the titles, what was that like psychologically?
Well, I think, of course, sometimes depends on the character of the player. For example, the first time when we win the league with Man City 2012, or before that, when we win the FA Cup, I think psychologically sometimes it's difficult when you have an opponent behind you who will pressure you a lot. For example, when you take an example now with Arsenal and Man City just fighting all the way, and the second one is, it's not that easy. And when you see as well your opponent like a Man City, you can leave them space, because if you, for example, make a mistake or you lose or you draw, they're gonna come right at you, and you have to be strong mentally, of course, but have that sense of, like Patrick was saying, for them it's important to win those kind of games because you have to understand that as Chelsea, that was always a big role of Arsenal and the London derby, and I think Arsenal have to keep it going doing that because otherwise it's gonna cost them something. Because Man City, for me, they're really gonna be Man City, right? They're always gonna try to finish strongly in the end. But let's see. I hope Man City will win, but
you're not sure. Do you remember, Patrick, the first one being different? In terms of that pressure and that psychological aspect that Daniel's referring to, that challenge of getting over the line for the first time.
And of course, there's a pressure. The pressure as a team, you want to do well, but there's a outside noise as well that you have to manage. You have to control. And I think when you're looking at Pep. Talking about Arsenal and saying that Arsenal is the best team at the moment, that is as well putting a pressure on the shoulder of Arsenal Football Club. And that is part of the game as well. But it will be really important, and especially when you get to the end of the season like that, there's a key games that you have to win. And it doesn't matter if you play well or bad. And I think today's games was one of them. But the key moment, I think, will be the game between Manchester City and Arsenal. I think that will be the decided game, because when you're looking at after that game, you expect both teams to win all the games of the season. So for me, the key moment and the important moment will be that game.
Who's playing the best football, Yaya, of the two?
Man City is coming back well. Arsenal were doing well. After that, the struggle, I think they drew against. I watched some games, especially on Emirates as well.
Drew a couple recently.
Yeah, Brentford, yes, Wolves as well. That one cost them a bit and give them a bit of doubt, to be honest. Because when I see the players, express themselves, And as well, you have to understand that Odegaard, the captain, is brilliant,
You
right?
don't know when he's going to be back.
Yeah, I think for me, he's a huge miss because between the line is moving very well. We can, you know what I mean?
You can see he's a Barcelona.
No, because I love that type of game, that type of approach. You know, when you play games, we need to be, you know, because I feel like the player sometimes I be locked in the brain, right? Just I don't want to make mistakes. I don't. Maybe if I lose the ball, can cost the team something. You know, I want the player to be more open. Of course, it's the game. You know, we enjoy the fans part of it.
And the manager will tell you the best game is to get a result. You know, so it's always a balance, I believe, to find between result and the performance. But if you compared Arsenal and Manchester City, I think Manchester City going through a difficult period, but they're always going to keep the philosophy. I think the way that they're going to play, try to build up from the back, that is part of the DNA. And even if they're going through a difficult period, they are staying with kind of philosophy. Arsenal going through a difficult period, they are capable of adapting themselves at how they are feeling at the moment. If they are missing players, they're making a tweak some of the tactical aspect of the game. I think that is kind of the differences between the two clubs.
To add on that, I think for me, Man City is playing the better games. For me, they're the best
In
team
terms of
because
style?
style, time of experience, in terms of approaching the games. Yesterday, the games they play against Leeds, it's not easy, very difficult. I watched the game carefully and I see that Leeds have that momentum, but Man City just with calmness, with control, with you know, understanding, and they're really good, right? For me, I think that's gonna go into the end. For me, in my opinion, and for me, I remember Man City are playing better games.
You said they're playing better football. You said they hope they win. Are they going to win? Are they going to win the title, Man City?
Yes, I definitely want it.
Okay.
I definitely want it.
You been playing. You say it like it is. Okay.
We better let you go quietly and don't repeat that outside this studio. Thank you so much for coming to see us.
Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure to
It's been
see
a
you.
pleasure.
Absolute
Pleasure.
Giant
Thank you
of the
very
game, Yaya Toure, popping in to our studio here on Super Sunday.